we had a fella message my son on Instagram saying, I want to kill your dad. But our egos went with it as well.
Did it?
Massively. We was. So now my family's in a caravan, I'm in the mother-in-law, he's at his house with his mum, we've got enough money to put 20 quid squirt in the van, in the car, to go and do a job, and we had one job on. And then that month we had 70 million minutes of watch time in 1 month. Yeah. We earned big money. Yeah. We probably lost £1 million in revenue by not realising we could have earned money in the early days. Yeah. We didn't know how to earn it. Views create egos, people saying, oh, will you be my brand ambassador? That creates an ego, unfortunately. That month we had in April that year, we earned about 70 grand out of social media. Now, we were splitting 50 quid a year prior to that by cleaning people's gutters out. Yeah. So I had to sell my car, I had 11 grand, I bought the wife a car and I bought a caravan. And I pulled onto the mother-in-law's back garden on the shingle. Yeah. And I had the electric going through the kitchen window. And that was me for a year. And he said, listen boys, we're going national, we've got the funding, we've got the slot. Yeah. Do you want to do the breakfast show?
So here we are with a live Trade Legends podcast, and finally I've got Brad and Sam, the Bold Builders, on the podcast. So I just want to say a big thank you for doing the interview.
Finally tied them down.
It's amazing when you get forced to do something.
Yeah. We was just walking past and all of a sudden they grabbed hold of us.
I've been told if I move I'm going to get so the reason I wanted to get Brad and Sam on, obviously if you've been in the trade, you know who they are, and if you don't know who they are, where have you been for the last, how many years have you been doing it?
12 plus.
12 odd years.
12
odd years.
Does it feel like 12 years now?
Yeah, look at me.
It looks like
It's only 21.
yeah, it looks, we look
With
like
wrinkles. I don't need Botox now.
So
Could never do it. Never have that pumped into me.
No. Been offered. We've been offered.
Have you?
No, I'm completely at ease with my boldness.
Yeah.
Same.
So look at it. Proper. You have got to have the right shaped head to pull the bald head off.
He
the Phil Mitchell, I wouldn't see it.
He's too good looking to be bald, isn't he?
Even styles the grey out.
So, I mean, the reason that I wanted to get you on is I would class you two as probably the original OGs of trade and social media stuff. And I feel like everybody could learn a little bit from your journey of coming onto the scene and then sort of how it sort of escalated to where you are now. So I want to sort of, with Mark, sort of, I won't say probe because it's probably the wrong word, but just go.
It's early Sunday morning. You never know what you're going to find in there.
But just take us back to sort of how it started. How you two are you related, or is it? Are you just mates?
Funny story.
Here we go.
I moved down to West Sussex 12 plus years ago, 13 years ago, whenever it was.
From
South London. From South London with a family, longer than that maybe.
Yeah.
Longer. When I moved down, my mother-in-law and her daughter, which is my wife's sister, was already moved down there.
Yeah.
Sam was courting my sister-in-law at school.
Courting means relationship.
Dating.
Yeah.
Dating when they was babies.
Yeah.
So I was already into the internet game, doing an online builders merchants at the time when I met Sam. Sam left school, goes and does a bit of sales, whatever else, for about a year.
Yeah, selling insurance.
Oh God.
No,
Exactly.
good insurance.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And double glazing. And double glazing.
Double glazing, yeah.
I got the whole package, triple threat.
Yeah.
I was knocking on people's doors selling double glazing, loft insulation grants, Sky TV insurance.
So you was that guy.
He was that guy.
Because so was this probably early 2000s?
It was when On The Tool started as well. We started right at the time with On The Tool starting, when Adam and Lee started there.
All that where there was a blame, there was a claim, he used to knock on people's doors and used to come round.
And then he went and done his electrical apprenticeship for about a year or so.
Done a lot.
Yeah.
Tried a bit of everything.
And then I nicked him basically.
Yeah.
And he was courting her sister, and I said, look, come and work with me. We've got this product to sell.
Yeah.
Joined forces. I was on the building site at the time promoting it, and he was in the garage.
So what product were you doing?
We had an online builders merchant called Tommy'sYard.com.
Yeah.
And we had Tommy Walsh was our face for it.
Yeah.
And we was the go-between between the consumer and the merchant, and we'd take our 10% out of the middle. Okay. But this was a long time ago.
And you started this?
This is us, from scratch.
Right, okay.
So I had a money man, we'd done 2 million quid, we built the system, we had a team out in the Philippines doing all the code work, and we ran out of money. So then we had to go back building. I'd done 8 years in an office, come off the tools, built this system, and it was great. And I nearly sold it to Travis Perkins for about 6 million quid.
Very nice.
I sat there in Northamptonshire with the CEO at the time, John Carter, and he said, listen, come and see me in a year's time when you've traded it. You've got no trade history.
Didn't they start another business called Built that was similar, where you could drive. They had one branch, but what they were trying to do was do more stuff online. But you could drive into here, load your van, and
the drive-through merchants.
But they only had one, and I think Travis owned that, and then all of a sudden it went.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether maybe,
but we was right at the early stages, and I went to this meeting and I had a suit on. Me.
Nice.
Colt on my wedding. That's the only time I wear a suit.
Reebok Classics.
Yeah. And I went there and I had to present to the CEO, the COO, and whatever else. I was shitting myself. And I've gone there anyway, done the presentation. He said, come back in a year's time. That's when I said, Sam, jump on board. We've got no money to market. I want to go back on the building site and start sketch videos. Taking the piss out of plumbers, electricians, whatever else, with someone else. That done really well. In the background, he's selling.
What was the thought behind that then? Had you seen that, or
marketing.
you just I'm just going to do it?
I just need to do so. I had to go back on the building site to become relatable again.
Yeah.
Because at this time it wasn't really. There was
nothing, no buzz.
Was it Vine? What was the?
Vine. Yeah.
It was Vine, wasn't
Vine
it?
was there, and that was doing well on Vine, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I wasn't social media. I wasn't social media at all. I never had socials. I ain't even got my own personal socials now. I don't do social media personally. So we did this anyway. A year goes by and we done £1 million turnover selling Stuart Turner shower pumps on Google. We blew up. We just hit the algorithm right. We spent loads of money on Google AdWords, and we was about to go back to Travis to try and flog it, and my business partner pulled the plug.
Really?
Yeah. He pulled the plug. He had personal situations and whatever else, and he just pulled the plug. And because we was hemorrhaging about 30 quid a month at the time, we was the run of the litter.
You had to go.
So we had to go. So that's when we bottomed out. So at that point, my whole life was in that business. Bottomed out, sold my car.
So what year is this? What year are we? Because what I like doing when we're on the podcast is to give people a scale of things. Because I feel
when was
like
I in the caravan? How old was she? She's 10 now. She must have been 2 or 3.
Yeah.
2.
2015, 2014.
Because social media, people see where you are now, and they think,
it's happened overnight.
Yeah.
When we bottomed out, when that business went and we bottomed out, it was me and him together. All the partners went, everyone went, and we had 30,000 followers on social media.
Yeah.
We tried carrying it on a little bit, but our egos took off. And
what was your first platform that you started with?
Facebook.
Always stuck with Facebook.
Always stuck with Facebook. It's always been good to us.
People overlook it now, and I feel like that's a
different generation. We'll get the right generation, right content, but it's always done well for us. So we bottomed out anyway. And
so you two sat there, right?
At the time, we sat there and we're like, listen, where's life going to take us? Our egos are through the roof. We've got 30,000 followers. We think we're the bee's knees because no one else is doing it.
Yeah.
Right, we're getting millions of views. We was on Lad Bible, when you shared a video and all of a sudden it went bang. And overnight, I'm laying there on the front room floor watching the computer and the views are ticking. And all of a sudden we grew 20,000 followers within 24 hours.
Off the back of a Lad Bible
video going viral.
Done quite well.
Lad Bible was big.
It used to be, and that one was me shaving a labourer's head.
Right.
And we made him look like fried tuck, I think, that was the video. And he was like, hi mum, to the camera, and it was great, and it went, and whatever else. But our egos went with it as well.
Did it?
Massively. We was dickheads. Our egos just got cocky. He thought he was Hugh Hefner of Little Hampton.
His
you know what
bathrobe.
I mean? He's going around like the bee's knees, like a dog with a big hanging thing. My ego's through the roof at the same time, and we was just being. And my wife said to me,
could you see that at the time or not?
No. We were doing.
But back then, nobody was doing it. Nobody was doing it.
But you see this here, we had DL size leaflets, and people would ask you for your signature, and we would sign it.
Loving it.
Ask me to do it now. I cringed the hell out of it. I couldn't do none of it now.
We literally had 40,000 followers. But back then, that was like having 10 million.
Yeah, because no one else was doing it.
No one was doing it.
So
it was a big thing. Yeah. And then my wife said to me, listen, you need a break. You're being a dickhead. I've been with my wife since I was 13.
And she told you?
100%. So then we had a year and a half off. We suspended the page. We had a year and a half off. We went back building, me and him.
No cameras, nothing.
No money.
No money.
So at this point in time, I had a year before, 18 months before, I bought a Range Rover at 25 grand. Always wanted this car. Saved up, went down there ready, bought it. Thought I was the bollocks. This is where my ego was through the roof. 18 months later, I sold it to WeBuy for 11 grand. In 18 months, I lost 14 grand. Then I couldn't afford to pay my rent because the business is gone. I was renting at the time. Still had an house rented out, but dramas. So we bottomed out. So I had to sell my car. I had 11 grand. I bought the wife a car, little BMW to drive back in, and I bought a caravan, 4-berth caravan. And I pulled onto the mother-in-law's back garden on the shingle. And I had the electric going through the kitchen window. And I had to clean the toilet out in her upstairs toilet every morning because the kids were having shit in it in the night. And that was me for a year. And we had 800 quid left.
Between
no van, Nothing. We're going back building. I said,
Out the back
Sam,
of a BMW.
yeah, we had a car, and that was her car. He didn't have a motor, I didn't have a motor. I said, I got 800 quid, mate. I said, I've teed up a fella with a van, full Transit Connect. Go and buy it. I've got to do something with her tonight. You go and buy the van. He comes back in a black Jag. I swear to God. I shit you not, he come back with a black Jag.
Yeah, but
Went off with a black eye.
we was travelling. We was travelling to Epsom. It was like an hour and 20 from our house.
Yeah.
You've got to drive in comfy.
Looks right,
innit?
Got to be comfy in the morning.
You've got to be comfy in the morning.
Letting that full English settle.
And all the tools
I
we
mean,
had.
when you
had
look-
We couldn't
everything
afford a
at
full
hand,
English,
tools.
I promise you, we was that
Yeah,
low.
yeah, that's
I
how
promise you,
skilled
this
we
is 10, say roughly about 10 years ago.
Right.
We couldn't afford a full English breakfast.
I
So
mean,
we,
the thing is, you laugh about that scenario now, but at the time,
yeah, but we were still smiling,
Yeah.
and this is the thing though, right? So now my family's in a caravan, I'm in the mother-in-law, he's at his house with his mum.
Yeah.
We've got no money, 800 quid's worth of van, we've got enough money to put 20 quid squirt in the van, in the car, to go and do a job, and we had one job on. And we did it, we were painting fences in the snow at Christmas, just to get the payout on the Friday. And we was having 200 quid each a week, 10 years ago. £200, I've got a family of 4 kids at the time, no money.
So then something's clicked then, innit?
Well, we're still working, we've done this great job, she recommended us, we got this other job, and it was a nice little job, and we've done all right. And at the end though, what turned us and brought us back to socials was this refurb we did. We had the flow screeders come in, liquid flow screed.
yeah.
Anhydrated screed, yeah? They come in, they took £5,000 off us, and they was gone by 12:30. And I'm a plasterer. I stood there and I watched, and I was like, hold up a minute, ring the supplier up, Sam. We know we've got about £5,000 profit in this job when we get to the end of it, and it was a 4-month job.
Yeah.
I said, we're not going to use that money. We was living on 300 quid a week at this point. I said, we're going to set up flow screed. But we've already got a van, we managed to get a van, fast forward a bit, and we used the £5,000 to set up liquid flow screed. And then with that, we turned the page back on. And our first,
At that point,
at
it was
that
like,
point,
we'll run
we
with
need
that.
to promote it now. We've got something to promote.
But we had 30,000 builders.
We've got 30,000 so-called builders.
Yeah.
We ain't spoke to for a year and a half.
Right.
Yeah, but hopefully they're still there.
Yeah.
Let's do a video. What's the video? You're in the van, Sam. I walk past with a pint of milk. Where you been? Went to the shop to get a pint of milk.
That's where your hiatus has
Welcome
been.
back. Welcome back. And then within 3 months, we had 1 million followers thereabouts.
Just off the back of that.
And then we just and then the relationship changed, and it was me and Sam in the van. McDonald's hack. Did you see the McDonald's, the KFC one? Never seen the KFC video?
I probably have.
Or even stuff like, I think I first started watching your videos just before you did the bold kitchen as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long ago that was.
That's a
I
couple of
think
years ago.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when we did the KFC video, it went and got 20 million views. So what we did, this is the natural blag, right? So we're in the van, we're having a laugh. So I got an idea. He said, what's that? I said, go and buy a Rustler burger from the shop.
Yeah, I remember. And you swapped it over. Yeah.
So he went to the drive-through, paid the man on camera, he's filming, got the chicken burger, drove round the drive-through without leaving the premises. While I'm driving the drive-through, he's doing the swapperoo. So when I said to him, mate, that's cold, he said, that ain't our burger. I said, well, I ain't left the drive-through. I said, there's my receipt, there's your burger, and he gave me the burger. What?
Flying.
Then and then that month we had 70 million minutes of watch time in 1 month. We
I mean,
we earn big money.
Because the thing that a lot of people don't realise with socials is you have to put the graft in,
Mate.
but the reward for it is there. And whenever I talk to people about, obviously Unilight is a business, and our growth has been because of social media.
Yeah.
But people don't
Don't
see
realise the
that
graph.
or don't realise. But just like how you've blown up there is similar to like KSI on YouTube and people like that.
Yeah.
It was of that era, wasn't it? Of doing that.
But we done a year and a half with no money, right? So when we were doing the flow screed, we found out that we can go and do liquid flow screed in the morning and earn 500 quid and split it, and then it gives us an afternoon to do social media. So for a year and a half, we worked double shift for no money. It was a gamble.
We was getting big views on videos and not realising that we could have earned money on it.
We've probably lost £1 million in revenue by not realising we could have earned money in the early days. We didn't know how to earn it.
But this is the other thing as well is that people don't realise is now I think people are a bit more savvy and they are monetising.
Yeah.
But they don't realise without you guys going and doing this thing originally, nobody else would be doing it
Now.
really now. So you sort of paved the way.
A little bit, maybe. It's a big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was a big thing
Because
for us.
people in the building game then went, have you seen these guys doing this? We can do that.
We can do it.
We mess around on site.
Yeah.
We all builders,
100%.
plumbers, they all have the crack on
So
site.
did
and that's
you,
what
did
people
you
like.
come first or was it on the tools first?
Same time. It was the same year, I believe. Was it
Yeah,
not?
if we didn't have the year, if we didn't have the year off, we would we would have been year on year with On the Tools.
We would have grown with them, but we had the year and a half off. We had to. We wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be married.
This is the other thing as well, is people don't realise, without other things like On the Tools, Fix, you guys, and some of the other people that paved it, they wouldn't be in the situation that they are now with brand deals or
it's that snowball effect, isn't it? Everyone's getting on the bandwagon.
Yeah, but do you know what I find with the industry, and I said this the other day, a lot of egos. It creates egos, right? Views create egos. People saying, oh, will you be my brand ambassador? That creates an ego, unfortunately, and we learned early on. I'm glad we learned early on, and I'm glad we lost everything. I was a millionaire. I was a millionaire,
It's
and
grounded you, innit?
100%.
I bombed out.
We don't want to be them guys again.
No way. I bombed out, mate. Completely.
Most people, I think, that have been successful at something, if you read their books or whatever, they've lost everything.
Lost it.
Yeah, you're right.
So I feel
successful people have that knockback.
but then they know how to game it to build
and to
back.
hold on to it and just
nurture it more.
I just think it's about your ego. I think your ego can make or break you. And I see it now in social media, and I've called it on a couple of the boys where I thought they're handy. We've helped them out, give them a leg up with something, and all of a sudden they've gone through the roof, and now we're like down there to them. And I didn't like that. But me, I don't argue about it. You won't ever see me slag anyone off. I ain't interested in it. I'll just say you'll find your own corner. Do you know what I mean?
Learn by your mistakes, don't you, sometimes? A lot of the time.
It's difficult to change if you're that type of person that you help people.
Change.
You can't.
You can't not keep it. You have to be who you are, and unfortunately, nice guys get shit on sometimes, and that's just life. But you got to learn not to do it. You got to learn how to deal with it better. We've had multiple people come to and from our firm, and think it's easy.
And then they go and then they can't do it.
And then they go and they slag you off because they know a few of these secrets and they think it's going to bottle you. Which we ain't got no secrets. We're out there.
We're just us.
We're just us. We ain't got no secrets.
You guys it's almost like a 24-hour.
We're on. You couldn't catch me out.
We're no different in person than we are on the camera.
And you couldn't catch us out though. You couldn't say I've got a secret about Brad. If I tell it, it's going to bottle him. No, I ain't.
It's all out there.
Everyone knows. I don't care.
You might find out I've got a kid somewhere.
You might find out in the back of that.
Not like that.
So you turn the page back on. The page starts going crazy. What then happens? Where does, say, like the stuff to do with the brand deals, the fixes? Where does that stuff start to come in for you guys?
It was about a year or so, wasn't it? When we turned the page on, about a year and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
people don't realise then that you had that page, you then turned it off, you then turned it back on again, and even then, even though you're getting these big numbers, it still takes another year
to earn money.
To earn money.
But then we had 1 month where, like that month we had in April that year, years and years ago, we earned about 70 grand out of social media. Now, we were splitting 50 quids a year prior to that by cleaning people's gutters out. So we was on our chats. And when we had this month, I said to Sam, wow, I said, right, now just settle down. Settle down. Most people, and I know it, he could have
Jags everywhere.
I swear to God, if I didn't say to him settle down, he would have been balling. He would have had a Lamborghini. Because that's what he's 10 years younger than me. He's 30, I'm 40. You live a different era. I've got kids indoors. He didn't have no kids. He's got no kids.
He knows.
So do you know? He knows. And it's like that, right? And I said to him, now let's just settle down a little bit. I said, we'll keep hold of that. I said, you can. And we're living on $250 a week still. Like literally.
You're banking it.
Banking it. Banked it, and then that's what we've done. And you had good months, bad months, and whatever
But it will
else.
level through, won't it? You've got that there.
And then all of a sudden...
I think when you've lost it, you don't want to go back to that point.
And it's not about being flash.
The fear kicks in.
Listen, I don't know what motors you boys drive, but I drive a full Transit Custom.
Range Rover.
Yeah.
Tesla Model X.
Tesla Model
electric boy.
Yeah, so I drive a full Transit Custom, he drives a Connect, and the wife drives a full Ranger. So that's me. So that's what, we're commercial. We're not driving flash cars, we're not having flash, we're not wearing flash.
I only buy electric because I can write it off against
Yeah. And one
Business,
day,
get it sensible, isn't it?
but one day I will go and buy a Range Rover again when I'm in the right...
Not yet.
When people aren't
Can't
nicking
insure them.
When people aren't nicking
And you go and buy a nice car in a couple of years' time or whatever else. But when the time's right, 'cause I said to him, look, we've got to get back to our houses. Because I'm rented now at this point.
The long game, you've got to play the long game.
I'm rented, he's in his mum's house and I'm renting. I said, Sam, 5 years at this point, I said, we'll get back to where we need to be. And then last year, it took a little bit longer, but last year, I bought my house, done it up. He bought his place, he's done it up. He come for his gambling problems.
Nice.
Paid his debt off properly, and
We're back.
So you've built that then, you're on that trajectory going up, and then the brands have come in, and then you switch into the radio side of stuff.
Yeah,
So how's that all come about?
We got pestered by our producer, who's our producer now, from the radio for about a year and a half, 2 years straight. And we just kept saying no, because we didn't want to do radio.
The more you say no, though, I think the more.
Yeah, but do you know at the time though, it's the ego thing.
Yeah.
So it's like imposter syndrome. Why are you asking us to do radio? We just do social media.
Builders that fuck around on
Why
camera.
are you asking us to do radio? What the hell? We're not radio presenters. We're not
We
TV
don't know the
guys.
first thing about
We ain't
radio.
got a clue. So we said no to him 3 times over the course of a year. And he's our producer now, and he's been at Fix since day one.
And are you having the conversation, you're saying no, but are you going, do you reckon? Do you reckon we could do it?
No, we was
Nothing.
like, nah.
Literally binned it off. Not
Egos are in
interested.
check.
I feel like even when you look now and you see the likes of like Piers Morgan, Tucker Carlson, all these big presenters now are shunning mainstream TV, Russell Brand, to go and do their own.
Yeah.
Because they're in charge of their content, aren't they? They're not being told what to do, what
And
to say.
the advertising spend, if you look into it properly, the advertising spend, 60% of it has come away from TV now, and they're spending it on social media influencers. We're speaking to big brands, and their budget is completely shifting. So there's no budget on TV to make real commissions. We was talking about doing one on our terms, and this year, early part of this year, we started talking about it, because something come up and it was of an interest, and the way we wanted it to be, we was like the backing dancers to a presenter, and that suits us nicely. We don't want to be the face, I don't want to present, I'll just be the man in the background having a laugh. That's I'm fine with that. Know your lane, innit?
Yeah, definitely.
And they've said to us, look, we want to commission it, but we can't. I said, what do you mean? They said, we've got no budget. Can you ask some of your sponsors?
So they're coming to you for the
Coming
backing.
to us for the backing to make a TV show.
None of the actual channels have got the money.
And then you're going to your sponsors, you're going to CT1 for argument's sake, asking them to fund a TV.
CT1, a lot sponsors love it because they're getting TV in their brains. They think mainstream TV is the place to be. And listen, there's a time and place for it. But is it your target audience?
Traditional media for me is on its arse.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
I know some people. I don't want to name Nicola here, but like even advertising in a newspaper.
It's like that.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a builder with a newspaper.
No.
Billboard advertising, newspaper advertising. I think it's all that. I think Fix, going back Fix, I think they're nailing it, and I do. And we're part of Fix, and I can see the numbers, and I can see the response. It's level.
It's online. Like everybody's got their phone or their tablet, and it's there 24 hours a day now. You see people on a train; they're not reading a newspaper anymore.
Nah, they're on their phone.
Unless it's been left there and they've got nothing else to do.
I think it'll change. I think online will change at some point, and I think people will have a sharp awakening.
Oh yeah, massively. So when you went for the Fixed Radio, we were speaking earlier on, Brad, about it, and it's that I never realised that you had media training and what was it?
You wouldn't think, would you?
What was it? What was the other thing you said?
Compliance and sensitivity.
Yeah.
Sensitivity.
So you think
sensitivity training, man.
you watch it, you think they're just out.
Like sucking dummies trying to be sensitive or whatever. Like
Listen, we started with Fixed Radio 3 years ago, thereabouts, and we was doing a Friday show, 10 a.m, Bald Builders brunch.
Did they have to say you need to do this to?
We had to do it, But that was like a podcast, so that was when there was regional, London and Manchester.
And that was filmed.
That
was recorded.
That was recorded.
It wasn't live.
It was sliced together. It was made the best it could be.
It was more of a podcast than it was radio.
When you listen back to it, how we got the second show, I don't know. And that's the truth.
Eat on the radio.
He would eat on radio. He'd eat a bag of crisps. What are you doing? But now, so we did that, and then it turned. They liked it, and was like, oh, okay. We're getting no money, pennies at the time, 50 quid. I think it was 50 quid a show.
Right.
And then they said, oh, do you want to do Monday to Thursday? Same time slot, 10 to 11. An hour. So we'd pre-record on a Friday the 4 shows.
Back to back.
Back to back. We'd just on a Friday we'd do 3 hours worth of work, and we'd pre-record the 4 shows for next week. Forget about it. We got the rest of our week to ourselves. No problem at all. Then they went national. And then Louis took us up the Shard, no pun intended, as he does, old Louis. And he said, listen boys, we're going national, we've got the funding, we've got the slot. Do you want to do the breakfast show?
Because it's very difficult, and I had this conversation actually with Louis when he was on the podcast, to get those slots, the national slots.
No, you've got to buy it.
So I remember him.
You've got to wait.
Well, I remember, obviously, because I used to work in the music business, it's like if you get them, they're like rocking all shit. Yeah.
Listen, it's big money.
Was you a DJ?
No, I was working for Warner.
Saturday nights. Oh, welcome guys.
Big Al, the man with the teeth. DJing.
Are they Turkey?
No, they're not Turkey.
Are they London?
He's got money to have a meeting, boy.
Are they UK though?
Big
No,
money
they're
teeth,
down the
they
road.
are.
So what ended up happening with my teeth, I'll tell the story, because I got headbutted playing football.
Okay.
So I lost teeth.
You should have said I got headbutted in a pub, but playing football.
Playing football.
He was a ref.
They look great though. We've been offered a few times to get a set.
Yeah.
Have
we
you?
turned them down, yeah. And here.
But
Anna.
the girl that did mine, she won Young Dentist of the Year, so she's
Nice.
not far from where I live. But I'd never go to Turkey and
They look good.
get me teeth.
They look good.
So.
They look great, yeah.
So you've had brands come to you for teeth and hair?
Yeah.
Offered me, him and the 2 girls and the wives and that to get them done. Hair, I get hair every other month.
No, get out.
I'm a ball builder. How would I have hair?
What you need to do is you need
Yes,
to,
you're
my
right.
brand.
Yes, going on,
Yes,
isn't
what
it?
you need to do is you need to get somebody to make you up that looks
and get 'em
genuine
done.
and come back. You've got long hair, and then these real like.
Come back from Turkey on
That
the
because when
flight.
you come
But
back,
just
you know,
pretend,
when you do your video.
just pretend. Like, not actually get, but just
We've changed it up. Yeah, different world, man.
So radio-wise, you've gone in and that first
Well,
live,
when we
you know, the
first
live.
had our first ever meeting for radio, when we finally said, you know what, we're here, you out. We went down to a meeting in London and we wore life jackets to this meeting. We had legitimate red life jackets on.
Yeah.
Louis sitting there, our producer Jack sitting there, there was 2 other people sitting there. They must have thought, what the hell has just walked through this door? 3 years ago, me and him were at the top of our game, social media, whatever it was, we're doing well on social. Loving life, cheeky chaps, we got these life jackets on. They said, why are you wearing a life jacket? We're in London, we might get stabbed, we said. And he said, is that your way of thinking? I said, yeah. And we sat down, we had this chat, and I said, how do we get the breakfast show? This is what he said to me about the Friday show. I said, we're going to do this, how are we going to get the breakfast show? He said, why do you want the breakfast show? I said, because that's the money. That's the money slot. I said, I don't want to just do a Friday 10 o'clock. I said, we'll start there, but how do we get that? He said, oh, lad. He said, I don't know about that, lad, he says. This is how Louis, right? I said, right. I said, but one day we'll have the breakfast show. I said, if we're going to do this, we want that. At the time, they had a breakfast show presenter. He hated that comment. So then it just went on, and we did that, and then all of a sudden they offered the breakfast show.
Who did the breakfast show at the time?
Big Phil, wasn't it? Someone called Phil.
Ugly Phil.
Ugly Phil was saying at the time.
Does Ugly Phil know he's called Ugly Phil?
Yeah, he was called that.
Oh,
so it was
yeah,
Ugly
yeah.
Phil.
Ugly
yeah.
Phil, yeah.
Thought you fell out with him.
No. I didn't even meet him.
Right old monster.
Good
We didn't even
looking
meet
Phil.
him. We didn't even meet him.
Handsome Phil.
So then it just evolved from there, and then the breakfast show come along, and
So you've done your podcast show, I don't want to call it
it
that.
was like that.
But that transition into that live, and we were saying earlier on that you've got a 10-minute window, haven't you?
10-minute delay.
So it's live, but you're 10 minutes prior.
Yeah, because
So to
it's
get your head into
it's
that.
recorded as live.
Yeah.
They say it's recorded as live, just in case we slip up because of Ofcom.
Yeah.
Now this time, we're doing compliance training once a year, and that was the first year. This year we've had compliance training and sensitivity training.
I think the thing is,
The world's changed.
as the station gets bigger as well, there's a lot more regulation on this.
Do you know what the pressure is, right? The main sponsor of our breakfast show is TradePoint.
Yeah.
In the contract,
Is that B&Q?
B&Q TradePoint.
Yeah.
But in the fixed radio contract, it states in there, if the ball builders do anything, this ain't in the contract direct for me.
Right.
This is the fixed radio. If the ball builders do anything that we don't like, we will take we'll just slice it and walk away from the fixed radio deal.
Wow.
So now, in our personal life, we can't do anything.
Oh,
Because fixed
right.
radio owns the money.
Incomplete.
Us, yeah.
Right.
They tied
okay.
us that much into it.
Right.
So if we step out of line,
In any way, shape, or not just the show.
not just the show. So now, so then when people look at your social and say, "Oh, you ain't as funny as you used to be," you don't
But
do
your
them.
hands tied slightly.
How can I go and mug a brand off now
Yeah.
and do a hack like KFC
Well,
hacks?
Yeah.
the difference being now is it's not just you that suffers; it's other people that work. at
40
the station.
people that work at Fixed Radio suffer.
Yeah. Because you've got keywords you can't mention, ain't you?
Yeah.
We've got a Bible of no words, but I can't remember what them no words are. Other than your obvious, the swear words, which are your blatantly obvious ones,
Yeah.
there's loads of others, but they're in there somewhere, because I don't say them.
Yeah.
Oh, what about?
What about
trying to
if I
think.
give you 5 of them
Yeah, go on.
and you say if you're allowed to say them or
Go on then.
shirt lifter,
No.
Karen,
Who? Karen.
Probably
I
not now.
bet
I
you're
do.
not.
I do.
Yeah. I bet you're not.
No, can't say that.
In a derogatory way.
Yeah, you could say, "Oh, my auntie Karen rang me."
Yeah.
But if you said, "Oh, my neighbour's been a right Karen,"
yeah.
But that, in the game, in the industry, it's chucked around so much, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on
They're,
then.
they're the only two I can remember.
To be honest,
Cho.
I'd be off the
Oh,
road.
you say Cho?
Cho.
Show, no.
No.
No. So this is what.
So what can you say that you wouldn't think you could say? That's the key one then, isn't it?
What can
Not a
you
lot.
Yeah, but to be honest,
Not a lot, yeah.
I speak broken English, as you probably know, right? And not a lot of my stuff you won't find in the dictionary.
Yeah.
So I get away with it.
Yeah,
because it ain't real words.
You can go, I didn't mean that.
They ain't real words. With blind chicken's eyesight, sort of thing. They ain't real words, are they?
Yeah.
So it's great. But we had compliance training with a geezer called Paul Chandler.
Right.
And above our radio doors, we walk in every morning, it's got a sign up there. As you walk through this door, be an entertainer. And this was Paul Chandler, he's signed it off. And he's known within the industry, and he gives everyone in radio compliance training. And he's a shareholder of Fixed Radio.
But he does all the big.
But he does
radio
all of the
stations.
big stations, does all the presenters. They all go
Do you
through
have
his
to
training
constantly keep refreshing that?
every year. And then when they brought in the sensitivity, they sat us down and said, right, what? I said, how
Should
do you
do a video
that?
on that. You two
We
sat
done-
outside and they take you in for sensitivity training.
We did the compliance
Come straight back out.
We did the compliance video, didn't we? With
Look at
him?
you come out and you're like, I'm so sensitive now.
How do you do that though? How do you filter your content as a hairy arse builder so that so you don't offend people?
But you still,
on the other
you
end?
still want it relative.
Yeah, the
like,
industry is that thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So to filter what is essentially how we speak is hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do. Yeah. I don't know how we do it, but we do it. We ain't been sacked
And you've had
yet.
no proper balls, or you've had no when you hit something and
We got one Ofcom complaint, and the thing is, right, if you get an Ofcom complaint, the fine don't come to me and him. The fine goes to Fixed Radio.
So even if you get one complaint, you
They
get
have to look into it, and then Ofcom asks you for the transcript of that audio. So they don't even get to listen to it in context.
They just see
read
the
it
words.
as you would do a police
it
report.
always seems
Yeah,
worse
yeah.
when
And
you
it seems
read
worse
it.
when you're
because
reading
you
it,
can
right?
read it differently how it's come across.
Exactly, and this is the problem. And then if they was going to go deeper, then they would listen to the audio. So we had this one Ofcom complaint since the whole 3 year of doing it, and on radio I said I'd like to sack my mother-in-law. And we was talking about when we had our kitchen open. I said, she's doing my nuts
So
in at the
I
moment.
wouldn't see anything wrong with
She's
that.
doing my nuts in the
Yeah.
moment. I said, she carries on, I'm going to sack her.
Yeah.
Got a complaint.
Who from the mother-in-law?
probably was.
I actually asked. I said,
getting
is
rid
that
of
the
you now.
mother-in-law? They said, no. We got a complaint about it. They looked into it and they threw it away and no more.
So if you do get the complaint, can you talk about that on the show, or is
No.
that like you can't?
You got to stay
But
well
the
away.
fines are
from
big.
it.
They could be hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah,
Right.
depending on what happens.
Depending on if it's racist, if it's
Yeah, yeah,
religion-based,
yeah.
whatever it be, there'd be
Look at
categories.
GB News, they get away with some stuff.
Oh yeah, they must have
I know.
proper coming in on them. But yeah,
It is crazy.
but to filter all that through and keep a show relevant to the building industry, fair play, hats off to you.
And you know what? When we were doing socials, whatever happened last night, you give to socials in the morning, and you do 2 or 3 videos, and that'd do me lovely for the day, morning, afternoon. With radio, we've got to give 3 hours worth of what happened yesterday.
Yes.
And we've got to make it relevant. So you got to, and we've got WhatsApp groups with our producers. Well, this happened. Is that any good? Anything going on socials at the moment? And then we've got to spin the content to make it trade-based and relevant to listen to.
Do you have producers giving you certain topics to go on? So
Yeah,
you're not going
yeah.
in blind each day then, are you?
So every day we walk into the studio and they give us a pack. He prints it off for me. I have it in paper format, and I'll stand up and I'll scribble through it and I'll write notes and my ins and outs. And he works
Your
on his laptop.
Yeah. You
And he
sit down, don't you?
Yeah.
Draw up. We said this earlier on. I remember back in the day, Chris Evans and Radio 1, he always stood up because he was like, I can fire the energy out.
But
It was
I don't think people realise that, because just give us some context. So you get up at 4, you record the show for 3 hours.
Yep. And then go on the tools now. We want back building. Set up a maintenance company, so we're back building. Then we do all the content for brands.
Yeah.
Then we run our family socials. We're putting out 10 bits of content every day.
Your
7 days
days
a
are
week.
just manic, absolute manic.
Yeah,
till-
they're flat out.
So when you
Every day.
first get up as well, like I presume you go into bed, you sort of semi-know what you're going to talk about the next
No.
day.
No, we
You know,
don't
you
know.
find out at 4 in the morning.
Well, so what we do, we've got a WhatsApp group full of ideas with these producers, and that could happen over the weekend.
Yeah.
So Monday you might have an idea what they might pick out of that, but you don't really know. And then Tuesday comes, I don't know until we get there and the paperwork's on the table at 5:10 in the morning.
Because people don't realise you've got to dance in the morning and
Yeah,
and
I'm
be
a
ready.
fool.
Yeah, it'd take me hours to get woke up.
We're different.
You know what I mean?
We're so different how our mornings go. My morning typically is up at 4 o'clock. Takes me an hour to get ready, have a shave, shave in the shower.
Yeah.
But that whole hour I'm listening to comedy because I want to get myself happy.
Yeah.
You don't wake up happy at 4 in the morning.
no.
One does. So then I'll get in the van at just gone 5 o'clock, 10-minute journey. Listen to Early Doors, which is John. Our producer does Early Doors 4 till 6.
Yeah.
Get the tempo of what's happening on John's show for 10 minutes.
So you can go
then
into
I'm in the
that.
studio now, and then he gets in, prints it out for me, and now we just story arc. We've got 20 minutes to plan the show.
So what about you, Sam? You're up at 4, R4. You're an R4 kind
I'm
of guy,
about 4:45.
He ain't 4.
He's hitting that snooze
way,
bang.
he's in 4.
Have you got like 5
You
alarm
need one of
clocks?
each.
Yeah.
You
I
do?
would need. They did that alarm clock, didn't they, years ago? You know, when it went off and it just fucked off like a
Yeah.
ball. I'd have to have
went.
that. Just gone. You've got to find it to hit it to turn
I
it
don't
on.
mind getting up. I just get up, get ready, wash my face, get in the van. I'm good to go.
Because you built
Still picking sleep out your
Yeah.
eyes.
Because you
I do.
built your own studios, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you built your.
So we got our own studio, so we don't have to go to London Vox. They got their own. Everyone else presents from there. We present from our. We're the only ones with our own studio. Yeah.
Just you two in there in the morning.
Yeah.
You've got,
And producers on the screen.
right, got you.
So we remote into Bristol and Liverpool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the cameras are on. Then they're on for 3 hours.
It's a bit that helps as well. Obviously, having your own space where you know.
Yeah.
You hang your
set
jacket up, don't you? My keys go there. I'm a routine kind of guy, right? Literally, every morning's the same for me.
Because I mean, if you had to get up, drive into London
Oh.
with that struggle, then G yourself
stressed.
up, and then
Straight away,
Wouldn't do it.
You went
You
firing
wouldn't do
it
it.
with that, are you?
stressed,
Just
mate.
battled through the traffic.
But then bring your personal life into it.
Yeah.
Because I've got missuses, we've all got missuses, we've all got family. There's drama going on every day. Everyone has money problems at one point in time. Don't matter how much money you're earning, there's money problems.
yeah.
Someone's
the
still
more you-
squeezing you somewhere, aren't they?
The more money you earn, the more outlay you got, typically. So you're always
Notorious
thinking,
B.I.G. had that right.
Look what happened
More
to
money,
him.
more problems.
more money, more problems. And you're continuously battling everything. So it doesn't matter how successful you are, they're the same shit problems. So now you've got to
they just
try and
get
turn it
bigger,
on.
I think.
Bigger.
Yeah.
And now you've got to turn it on as if you ain't got no problems.
So now you've got the radios. You're in a pretty good routine with that.
Yeah.
You just said you're back on the tools now.
Yeah, because the content slipped. So, well, it didn't. Last year was great. I've done my house up, done his house up, and we had a great year. Numbers were great, everything was great. But then it come to an end. And it's like, what are we doing? And then we took the family content away from the ball builders, and the ball builders plummeted because it was held up predominantly with family content. We didn't realise. But it was. I was like, Sam, I think we can't carry on this. We need to divide the two because the ball builders content was coming more family organisation, whereas the brands want building content.
But it's funny, you were saying then that it was still growing with the family stuff coming in.
Yeah.
So you switched that out. Now you've got to make
So
the
we
building
divide.
content
We
again.
divided the two. The family's going like that, and the building's still okay, but we've got a lot of graft to do,
Yeah,
right?
you've got to rebuild again.
We've got to rebuild. So we said, well, how are we going to do it? So do we buy an house, or do we do extensions? Do we go back? So we went about maintenance work.
I think a lot of people, like you said earlier, they yearn to get off the tools, but don't realise if you take yourself off the tools, if your content's based on that.
If I stopped being on the tools, I've got no content to put on my YouTube channel. You're making a rod for
It'd
your
be
own back,
it'd be you in your cars.
Me and Jack. I get
yeah.
Jack. Me and Sam will bowl around.
But how many of the socials? Everyone strives. How many socials actually? There's a few I know now who've stepped away from the tools and they're pretending to be on the tools.
Yeah.
So I know a
You
few.
soon get found out. I
Yeah.
think.
You can see through it, can't you? You can
Yep.
see a stage job.
And they're going out to do a job for free for someone.
Yeah.
It's not real, and this is the problem. And this is where people get caught out, I think.
I've always said if mine switched off overnight, I'm a plumber. At the end of the day, I'm a plumber. But you know, that just encroaches into it now, and I enjoy doing it. Same as what you boys. I bet you enjoy
Yeah.
it now, back on the tools.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, we missed this.
But what are you in it for? What are you in it for?
What the social side?
Yeah, and this doing the
bu-
podcast.
business. I
socials.
enjoy chatting with people, especially the podcast. Being, part of the podcast team now, I love talking to different people. Backstories.
It
And I've-
becomes this to me now has become my network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got
So-
to meet so many people.
I can ring people and say, "Oh, can you help me with this?" Or
Yeah.
"What about this?" And it's sort of, I do the same back for people.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I've got to make those connections with
Yeah, yeah.
people. And actually, like if there was a uni-like sale, for example, I could say, "Look, I've got this video. Do you mind just bashing it on
That's
your
it.
stories?"
Yeah, so it works well for you.
And people would just be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
no worries."
So you're
mate,
using it
whatever."
as a tool to help a business.
A bit
Yeah.
of both, but obviously it's helped me as well with knowledge of the industry, so I get to know what type of products you guys
Yeah,
want.
and what you want to bring
And
out.
I tailor it then. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like niche into it. Whereas before, you sell it to a wholesaler, you don't know
never
whether
know.
I've sold it to a builder, a plumber, a spark,
Yeah.
a
True.
plasterer. Whereas now I've got all that data and
You've got all that
and
information
stuff.
you can
Yeah.
use.
Have you got your own house?
Yeah.
Mortgaged?
Yeah.
If you
Get
could,
that off.
yeah, then
That's-
what?
What'd you do? Where'd you go with
It's
that?
like that.
Yeah,
Into the
then what?
sunset.
Where'd you go again? You support your kids, don't you? It's all about the money.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. For me, it is. I always say FU money.
Yeah.
And I got told this once. Once you get FU money, then you don't have to answer to anyone.
Yeah.
Could be brands, could be anyone. Radio.
Yeah.
Because the radio say rein it in a bit.
Yeah.
If I had FU money, I'd be like, listen,
I
man.
don't need you. I want to make this. I
And
wanna
that's
talk about
where
that.
that's for us. That's for me anyway. Is to get to that point where you got that money. And that ain't.
Well, you can pick
that,
and choose. You've got choices there.
Yeah, and it ain't tens of millions that money. That's a mortgage paid for, car on the drive paid for, and a couple of quid in the bank.
I always say to people, watch your lottery winning one where you do nothing. you know, £1 million, you can't retire on £1 million.
Nah,
You still have to.
It don't matter if you had 100 million. We know the lottery winner, the builder, 120 odd million.
Yeah.
He still works every day, and he's more stressed now.
Really?
Yeah. And he said to me, I saw him the other day, and he said to me when we was in Chichester, I'd rather be back on the broom than where I am now. He said, I wish I won 5 million, not 121 million.
Right, okay.
He said, 5 million, I could have lived a nice life. 125 million, it's too much money.
Everybody wants a piece.
Everyone wants a piece of you.
Remember that guy, that Michael Carroll?
Yeah, he had a good time. He had a good time. He had a good time.
Yeah, what a legend.
What a legend, wasn't it? He bought that gaff, that real nice house.
Because you have the dirt.
Yeah, scrap cars in the garden.
He's got people jumping over his wall he had. He had to build a
all
wall 12
press
foot
and
high.
everything.
To keep them out.
And when we started
What's the
socials, we
point
had...
in having all that money and you've got to
Yeah.
And
hide
you're
away.
panicking.
Yeah.
But socials is a bit like that though. When we first started, we had death threats and everything.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a death threat of socials?
I'll send him one tonight.
It's normal. It's normal now. Yeah.
So
Do ya? It's normal now. We had a fella message my son on Instagram, my 12-year-old son at the time, he's 16 now, messaged him saying I want to kill your dad.
Just because you're on the
And
internet.
he had a
Yeah.
page set up, literally, with about 60 videos calling me and him out. And we didn't respond once.
for
Over a
fights.
year.
Really?
Over a course of a year. So then he messaged my son.
Because he was getting no reaction.
Yeah, but he messaged my son in a way where it left it open-ended, so I did a video. And I said, this geezer's messaged my son, I'm not going to tell you what, inappropriate. All of a sudden, what? A million people have hit his page and caned him.
Really?
Gone,
Caned him.
But you'd sat on that for a year.
Old Bill being in touch, rang us up, asked us to take the video down. The man's getting death threats. I said, how do you feel then?
Yeah, yeah.
How does it feel? We took the video down in the end and we never heard no more. And his mum on the phone.
Yeah, his
I
mum.
know this fella. His mum said, please take the
He
video
was
down.
like 20 odd as well.
People are coming to his place of work threatening to kill him. I said, how about him messaging my 12-year-old son?
Yeah. That's
Man,
the
kids-
side of
kids
social
still
media
vicious.
people don't see, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
If
that,
it's
it
you,
can be evil.
you can take it, but when it's your kids.
When it's your kid, you ain't having it.
Yeah.
Now I'll bit then, yeah. And then I'm right to and all. I'd have gone jail for that.
Too right.
I'd have been laying down, no drama. No drama.
Be no content in there.
No,
mate.
I would make a I'd get a phone.
we'd get a phone.
Boy, I've got connections, cuz. I'd be on the blower filming.
It'd still be in there.
I
Yeah.
would be
Doing
creating
the
content.
daily vlog.
100% back in Wani, bro.
Love it.
Yeah. No, so what we do when we get to sort of this part of the show is
Yep.
we always say you can either drop some knowledge or some advice or shamelessly plug yourself. You can do whatever it is, but just something that people don't know about you, whatever it is, you can like
Put us on the spot there.
Always does with people.
We ain't got no knowledge.
But even if you were to say
We've got nothing to sell.
even if you were to say to
Drop them
you, maybe there's two people that are out there now
Yeah.
watching you guys go, well, I think we could do something like it.
Yeah.
Even like the ego, if you could look at yourself 10
That's
years
the one.
before and
Yeah.
go,
That's the
don't
one
be
for
that
me.
guy.
Control your ego, and the bookies always win.
Yeah,
Mine was
gambling.
always work hard, stay humble. But it was always like there's always somebody with a bigger dick in the dick swinging
Yeah.
competition. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Nice
Oh,
to
you're
meet
But no, but there's always somebody
Yeah.
that's going to have some
More than you,
yeah,
better than you, they're better at their work than you. Just stay in your lane, man. Do you know what it is? Have a goal, know what you want out of life. I'm a family man. I don't want a mortgage. I want to set my kids up. Know what you want, go after it, and stay in your lane.
And be happy for other people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but we don't go to red carpet. We get offered to go to all these events. Have you ever seen us at any of them? We don't bother because what are you going there for?
What you should do,
Yeah.
alter egos. Like I said, get the hair,
Dress up.
put the teeth
Yeah.
on, and then
Yeah.
get on the red carpet.
Yeah, do
People
we
don't
like
know
you
it's
two.
you.
Crazy.
You ever see some old battered black jag pull up and two geezers with long hair, big teeth?
That's us.
There they are. Both of you just go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think just hold your tongue, hold your ego, and when people are slagging you off, you're seeing it too often now. And people bite.
Yeah.
We block and delete. We've got a block list on Facebook of 20,000. Yeah. 20,000
delete
people
it.
blocked
it's
on
just,
Facebook.
just like that straight away.
I don't
even
entertain
bother.
it.
Don't give them what they want.
Why are they going to affect my day?
Yeah,
You ain't paying my mortgage.
exactly. Ain't got a mortgage left now.
Well, not yet. Not a little one, but I'm trying to get it done.
No, but that's the goal, isn't it?
That's the
what-
goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spot on.
And
Yeah,
if
that's
you're
it.
a duo, stick together through anything.
Well, that's a very good bit of advice. So listen, last week, BBC tried splitting us up,
Yeah.
of all things.
In what way? How's that then?
They come about and they're doing a crossover between mainstream TV and socials and doing digital.
Right.
BBC iPlayer.
Yeah.
Production company's been in touch. Right, we want a builder to represent the industry and it's rank yourself. It was called rank yourself. So I'm going to be standing there, or we're going to be standing there with a solicitor, whatever, and a builder. And the idea being is they pose a question, and then you try and rank yourself in what order you want to be.
Who earns the most money?
Right, okay.
I'm a builder, you're a whatever thing. I said, yeah, Kushti. 3 meetings.
All the way down to the wire.
Both of you?
Yeah, 3
both
meetings,
sides, yeah.
blah, 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 blah. How much? And then they say, oh, we'll pay you such and such. You come to London for the day and do a bit of filming. Yeah, we've got 3 days. We've got 1 day available. They had 3 days of filming. We said we can make that day. Yeah, Kushti. By the way, we only want you, Brad. We don't.
All the way down to the wire.
So I said, well,
Took you all that way?
all that way. So I emailed her. I said, well, that's a non-starter. Thanks very much. Anything else, let us know. She went, well, what's the problem? I said, listen, loyalty is the problem. She said, we'll pay you X, Y, and Z. We'll even pay Sam his money to come and watch, she said.
That's worse.
And then I was like, all right, maybe.
Add another 0 on, and I'll watch it.
But the thing is, right, that's where loyalty sticks together. And when you're, and this goes back to when you're splitting 50 quid together. Yeah? Whereas we've got a couple of pals who do socials. Same thing happened, one went.
One went.
They was working together for 15 years. Before socials, they had a business partnership. And because the fame took over, that one went and they split. No loyalty in the game.
Everything gone. Socials, business, everything.
No loyalty in the game.
Yeah,
For what? For a bit of TV?
I think you can forget that it was the two of you that got to
I wouldn't be without it, and they wouldn't be without me.
Yeah, it's the two of you.
100%.
Two or none.
And that sees it in the paycheck, it sees it everywhere we go. We do deals together and we get paid the same, and that's it, no matter what. We live different lifestyles. People, oh, why you got that house, Brad, and he's got an apartment we had last year? Yeah, well, it's me, Ree, my wife, we're 3 partners. So it's me, Ree, and Sam. There's 2 people's money there compared to 1 person's money. People don't see that. Do you know what I mean? We're a threesome.
People like to compare, don't they?
Why? He's got more money in the bank. What does it matter?
What business is it? Anybody?
Doesn't matter, does it?
I never understand critiquing someone.
Why does he need a 6-bedroom house? He's got no children. I've got 5 kids.
But I always think if it annoys you,
Playboy
just
Mansion.
scroll on.
Yeah.
Don't
Jags everywhere.
He should get jagged.
He's like that politician Prescott, 2 Jags.
2 Jags, yeah.
Honestly, that Jag, mate, the way he thought, you couldn't even get a level in the motor. He was hanging out the window.
The seats didn't go down at the back, so
But the thing is, it's those moments that actually you look back on.
Love
and
it,
you
man.
think,
Yeah.
Listen, I've got a big backstory, goes before socials, and I was humbled a lot of times in life. It's lovely. I love it. I love having that past. I love having growing, having it all, losing it all. Yeah, we'll do that. That's a different day.
It moulds you into the person you are.
Yeah.
Without that and that. A lot of people have regret. Yes, reflect, but that and that has made you to that person.
Or maybe we get you in the studio.
That's a different conversation. But I was saving that
Or
for
just
a book.
Brad, yeah?
You can watch.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
No, we
As
get
long
you
as I
both
get a
on.
torch or something.
Because I think the thing is when you have the two, it's you get that story of your lives before and then the crossover.
But he knows everything. He knows every story. And he's been there. Like, I bought a stolen house. I'm not going to go into that, but I bought a stolen house.
How'd you steal a house?
It's mad. I know, I'll tell you about it another day, but I bought a stolen house. And he was there on the day that
a man in a Jag sold it to me.
It's crazy. Do you remember that day? We was in the van.
Yeah.
Anyway, bought a stolen house and I ended up having to give back 300 grand to the public purse because of it. Mental.
That's it. People don't know what's moulded you to be.
Mental. And we was in the van driving back from this poxy job, and I said, pull over, I've got to make a fucking transfer. Done this, rang the bank up, I said, can you do this? It's gone through, I had to make this, I had to do it, otherwise I was going to jail. Full story. Done it, he went, what are you going to do now? I said, we can't work, bruv. I said, we got to earn 300 quid.
Yeah, got to.
And we just carried on driving, and the next we're up again, cleaning gutters the next morning.
Graft.
Just get on with it.
Get on with it.
Get on with it.
There you
Got a
go.
good, I'll tell you about that off here. I'll tell you about that off here. Yeah, it's a good story.
We'll hear that one.
Good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
No, thanks for coming on, boys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Having us.
Nice
Thank you
one.
very much.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks,
Nice one.
Thanks, mate.